Once upon a time, in a far-off land of magic and wonder, there was a kingdom ruled by a wise and just king. The people of the kingdom lived in peace and prosperity, and everything seemed perfect. But as it often does, trouble was brewing just beneath the surface. It all started when a young orphan boy named Jack stumbled upon a hidden cave in the nearby mountains. Inside the cave, he found a mysterious artifact that would change his life forever. It was a glowing crystal, pulsating with a strange energy that seemed to call out to him. As soon as Jack picked up the crystal, he felt a surge of power coursing through his veins. He knew instinctively that this was no ordinary rock, and that it held great power within it. Little did he know, however, that the crystal was cursed, and that it would bring him both great joy and great suffering. With the crystal in his possession, Jack began to notice that he could do things that were impossible before. He could move objects with his mind, create fire with a flick of his wrist, and even heal wounds with a touch. He was amazed by his newfound abilities, but he knew he had to keep them hidden from the rest of the world. Unfortunately, secrets have a way of getting out, and it wasn't long before rumors began to spread about the boy with magical powers. People started to whisper behind his back, and he could feel their fear and mistrust every time he walked down the street. But it wasn't just the townspeople who were afraid of him. There were dark forces at work in the kingdom, and they too had heard about the boy with the crystal. They knew that if they could get their hands on the artifact, they could use its power to conquer the kingdom and rule over it with an iron fist. One of these dark forces was a powerful sorcerer named Malachi. He had been banished from the kingdom years ago for his evil deeds, but he had been biding his time, waiting for the right moment to strike. When he heard about the crystal, he knew that this was his chance to regain his power and exact his revenge. Malachi sent his minions to capture Jack and bring him to him. The boy was terrified, but he refused to give up the crystal. He knew that if it fell into the wrong hands, it would spell doom for the kingdom. Jack knew he had to act fast. He couldn't let Malachi and his minions take the crystal, but he also couldn't risk hurting anyone in the process. He decided to flee the kingdom and hide in the nearby forest until he could figure out what to do. For weeks, Jack lived off the land, using his powers to hunt for food and create shelter. But he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. He knew that Malachi's minions were still searching for him, and he feared that they would stop at nothing to get their hands on the crystal. One night, as Jack was sitting by his campfire, he heard a rustling in the bushes. He quickly stood up, ready to defend himself. But to his surprise, it was a group of travelers who had stumbled upon his campsite. They were a kind and friendly group, and they welcomed Jack into their company. They listened with fascination as he told them about his powers and the cursed crystal. They urged him to use his abilities to help others and to fight against the darkness that threatened the kingdom. With their encouragement, Jack found the courage to return to the kingdom and confront Malachi. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he also knew that he couldn't let the evil sorcerer get his hands on the crystal. Jack faced Malachi and his minions in a fierce battle, using his powers to defend himself and his friends. In the end, he emerged victorious, with the crystal still in his possession. As the people of the kingdom celebrated their victory, Jack realized that he no longer needed the crystal to feel powerful. He had learned that true strength comes not from magic, but from kindness, courage, and compassion. And with those qualities, he knew he could overcome any obstacle that lay ahead.